Superman.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. Let's start with the Fortress of Solitude.
Yes.
You have the comic books. You have the Christopher Reeve, all beautiful. How did you want to make your Fortress of Solitude, paying homage a little to the rest, but make it your unique?
We wanted it to be really bright and really hopeful, sculptural, kind of soaring the way Superman soars. And we wanted to make sure we paid homage to the original by having all the crystal architecture, having all those shapes, but do it with materials that are available to us now so that we can actually do it with a lot of translucency, a lot of sparkle, a lot of brightness, let the light come through. And so it took us, I think, 16 weeks to get to a finished crystal and to know that we were going to be able to build hundreds of them. And I was really, really proud that we did. But it was also the weight of making sure audiences felt like we did justice to the fandom and making sure everybody felt like we did justice to what came before us, but also made it fresh and made it something new. And when I saw the movie, I cry literally every time the fortress burst from the snow. I bawl. It's like my husband knows it now. He gets the tissues out because it was just a career highlight. It was just a career highlight doing it. And so it was very exciting.
One of the things I like about it, in this universe, Superman has existed. Heroes existed for a long time. Like Metropolis is used to this. How did that kind of change your city design, knowing that this is accustomed to, because in the past it was usually like regular New York City. This was like, we know these superheroes exist in this world.
Yeah, we wanted to make it brighter, so our fortress punchier with colors and give it all. We wanted it to feel like a natural world that you'd recognize, but as if it had just been just a little bit ticked up, a little bit stylized, and timeless. We wanted it to be more timeless. Superheroes, they're timeless. They've been around since the 30s. They've been lifting us up for almost a century, and we wanted it to not feel like this is a superhero movie told in 2025. We wanted it to feel like it could have been from any era. So we brought a lot of period signage to the world. We mixed up the periods of the cars, made sure everything was in our color palette, which was largely primary and secondary colors, and then and really just let all of that shine. Picked a lot of architecture that we thought was representative of good, classic architecture, period architecture, contemporary. So everything just felt a little bit nuanced, but still really grounded and familiar. So you look at it and say, oh, I recognize those streets.
But in fantasy world, the pocket universe, you had to create, that's one where you don't have reality.
Yes.
Unless you've been to one, maybe. But what was the challenge of kind of creating the pocket universe?
The challenge of the pocket universe was, James wrote in the script that the pocket universe was made of architecture made of numbers. And so you read it, and he literally said, I don't know what this means, but my production designer is going to figure it out. And so I remember I highlighted that. I took a photo of it in the script. And then so we sat and we looked at how could mathematical algorithms be shown in, shapes and forms. And so there actually is a little bit of a logic to it if you look at it. It's all these cubes that are compounded and multiplied out. That's what the whole river pie was made of cubes. So really challenging. That took us a while to get to, but I was really proud of it when we landed on it. I felt really original, so yeah.
And our last question is, we have a lot of students that watch who want to be production designers. So is there one set that maybe was a little quieter scene, intimate scene, small, that you're really proud of that wouldn't get as big a notice as the pocket universe?
Yes, one of the ones I was most proud of in the movie was Lois Lane's apartment. It felt like it was a really character-driven set where if you really, I'm glad now the movie's out on streaming and people can kind of pause and look through the sets a bit more. There are so many Easter eggs about her character and her history and what she was interested in that are all sprinkled throughout her set. So if you actually if you pause and you zoom in on the wall behind her, you'll see what article is she chasing, which characters is she interested in, and then a lot about her family and her background. And so we actually got to layer it in ways that superhero movies you often don't get to do with character sets. So so anyway, that one I'm really, really proud of. So.